Hi everyone. So myself, Sonny Mohanty, I'm the Regional Director of LAToken based out of Singapore. So today we have a very special edition of blockchain of the online BF. We have a special speaker, Dr. Richard Saturn, who is CEO of D Clinic, which is a Singaporean blockchain healthcare technology. The specialty is he's managed to win many projects and also investments round during this difficult time. So we would like to hear from him. How did he do that? So over to you, Richard. All yours, sorry.
So hi, everyone. My name is Richard Saturn. Look, I did not go for the virtual background. I already explained this to Sonny. I prefer the halo. Okay, so I've gone for a halo background for my speech. So, and by the way, I'm expecting that everyone is going to be laughing at all my jokes, okay? Because I can see you all through my camera as well too. I'm joking, of course. So look, thank you, Sonny. I appreciate that. Look, I am the CEO of D Clinic. We are a blockchain healthcare company. I feel extremely privileged to be part of this company. I have an incredible number of staff who are experts not only in healthcare, but also in blockchain and technology in general. We have a great number of partners in risk and governance, partners in the US, partners in India. They have been really quite instrumental in growing our business worldwide. And we also have a number of fabulous partners in Singapore, not least of all our key advisor, which of course is Deloitte Southeast Asia. So look, I think we're an amazing company. I think we are still growing, but we seem to have found a bit of magic dust. And so at the moment, I think we're doing very well. My own background, I've been in healthcare for more than probably 20 years now, or getting up to 20 years. I've been in IT for about 35 years, and my specialty is AI and data mining. So that's my own background, and you can see why it lends itself really quite well to blockchain. So look, that's a little bit, just a quick brief introduction about our company and a little bit about me. I do have a little presentation that I'd like to go through, and hopefully it captures a little bit about what D Clinic is doing at the moment, and also what we have found as some of the really interesting things that are going on in COVID-19 space in these last 3 months, and probably for the next 6 to 9 months. The one thing I will say is I don't want to trivialize what's happening with COVID-19 around the world. It is, an horrific humanitarian pandemic. But, having said that, though, I think there are opportunities. So again, without trivializing what's going on in the world, I think there are opportunities. And look, I like to introduce a little bit of humor to what we do as well, because I think humor in many cases is the best medicine, especially when all of us are sitting at home. So
absolutely, undoubtedly.
So do you want me to jump straight into my presentation?
Yes, please. You can start sharing your screen as well. Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. So that's my, that's not my backdrop though, I wish it was, but here we go. Here's my presentation. So Sonny, first of all, can you see my screen?
Yes, I do, very much. Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, I do want to have a little bit of a disclaimer. I don't want anyone to walk away from this thinking that I am advising in terms of investments, or I'm acting as a financial advisor or anything like that. That's not the case. What I'm going to talk to you about is a bit about what D Clinic is doing and what some of our successes have been. And maybe you will see in that there are some opportunities out there. Now, our specialty is healthcare. So a lot of the examples that I'm going to have are in healthcare. I will say that I'm looking into my crystal ball. Okay. So Sonny did ask me to do this to do this presentation around, what did I see as some of the, what were some of the investment opportunities now with COVID-19 and then into the future with COVID-19, post COVID-19. Okay. So it's a bit of crystal ball gazing. So I thought in order to do that, I probably should dress appropriately. Hang on, my screen is not working. So there you go. So I've got my little wizard hat on, and I'm going to read into the future, not just post. I'm going to read into the future and tell you a little bit about where I think this is all going. Okay, again, not a financial advisor, but hopefully you'll get some insight in terms of where I think the investment opportunities are. Okay. By the way, that is actually what the COVID-19 actually looks like under a microscope as well too. All right. So this is our CIO. We are principally a private healthcare blockchain company. That's what we are. We are a technology company, and we have built a private healthcare blockchain. What makes us unique is our blockchain is purpose-built for healthcare. All right. So unlike a lot of other blockchains, which are repurposed financial blockchains, ours is a dedicated healthcare blockchain. Okay. The other thing that we then do with that private healthcare blockchain is we implement it as what we call journeys within facilities. So what we do is we integrate our PHB into facilities. And the reason we do that is so we can actually demonstrate the benefits of what it is that we have. Otherwise, what we have is just a technology platform. So if we don't have any way to actually demonstrate it, then we are just a technology company. So as a technology company, we took the view that we also had to guide governments and guide organizations in terms of what they could do with the PHB. The other quirky thing about our company is we introduced crypto as part of our rewards program, because we think crypto is perfectly placed as a utility token for rewarding consumers, patients, care team members, etc. So we think crypto is absolutely perfect for this space. And that's why we are not just a technology company, but we also use crypto as part of our reward system within our technology company. And we use these things to actually then build the cases for wellness and vitality. So simply put, we are technology. We deliver through facilities and integration, and not just within our blockchain, other blockchains as well too. So integration to other blockchains. And through that process, we actually develop use cases. Having said that, by the way, I wanted my CIO to also have a wizard hat as well too. Okay, I hope all of you are laughing at some of these jokes. Now, why healthcare? Okay, why healthcare? Well, look, this our key advisor is Deloitte. Our key partner in the ASEAN region is Deloitte. And this is one of their slides. This is a slide that they've used many times with us in Indonesia and in the ASEAN region. And if you look at those numbers over there, you can clearly see that governments are going to go bankrupt at the rate that they're spending in healthcare. They're going to go bankrupt. So they need to be smarter about what they do. Now, what COVID did, what the coronavirus did, is this accentuated this problem. So whatever their limits of spend were in healthcare, they have literally had to double it, treble it. They have literally had to do serious multiplication and exponentials of the current spend that they have. So these governments are looking for new ideas. They're looking for a better way to spend it. So before coronavirus, they were in trouble. After coronavirus, they're in huge trouble. And so they look to companies like us to see how they could make cost savings and how they can be more effective and how they can be more auditable, et cetera, more secure, etc. So believe it or not, coronavirus has actually created the environment for companies such as ourselves, especially in healthcare blockchain or blockchain healthcare. This is our COO, Ashwani. And I thought I would show you where Forbes, for example, is thinking that some of the big areas will be in terms of investment, not just now, but into the future with, post-corona, COVID-19. And you'll notice over there, this is a Forbes, by the way, this is from Forbes website. You'll notice, this is their own research, you'll notice in the top 7 industries that are currently gaining express investment, you'll notice that biotechnology, healthcare technology, life sciences, tools and services, and pharmaceuticals, 4 of the top 7 are in the healthcare space. You'll also notice, by the way, distributors, and I suspect a large number of those distributors are also in the healthcare space. So you could probably say it's not 4, but 5. So between 4 or 5 of the top 7 industries at the moment gaining investment are in this particular space. Once again, I didn't want to leave our COO out, so I gave him a witch's hat as well too, or a Merlin hat. So what are we seeing? What are we seeing as D-Clinic? What is our opportunity here? What is it that we're seeing? Well, this is anecdotal evidence, okay? So once again, I'm describing the world through the D-Clinic prism, okay? The things that we are seeing. First of all, we are seeing a real surgence of our blockchain. Now, we were in 2019 already talking to a number of investors, okay? There were a number of investors that had approached us through our partners and directly to us. I will be doing a more formal announcement in the next couple of weeks, but we have signed up one major investor with the company now, and this is going to really assist us to branch out into other areas, not just the ASEAN region, but now into India and to the US market as well too. Okay, so we took our time. We really took our time over 2019. We could have accepted a number of investors at that time, but we chose to just take our time because we wanted the right investor. We wanted an investor that had the same visions that we had, had the same drive that we had, and had the same markets, if you want, interests that we had. So we took our time, and now we have brought it on. But what that has realized us is that our PHB is growing. And so I think healthcare blockchains in general are coming to the forefront as a result of this. The other thing we've noticed is that we are getting a lot of interest around how blockchain itself can be beneficial during this COVID-19 phase. So for example, we are now working on a number of distributed apps based on our blockchain. And these apps, we're actually releasing them in the ASEAN region. In particular, we're releasing them in Indonesia, and we're also looking at the US market and in fact the UK market as well too. So there are opportunities now to start to build decentralized apps based on our technology that are very, very pertinent to today's problems and today's pandemics. And this is only stage one. This is stage one. I don't have enough time to go through where this could go, but the point is that this could be much bigger than just COVID-19 in terms of opportunities around the app space on top of blockchain. The other thing that we can see very clearly is biotechs. Biotechs are absolutely at the forefront at the moment. You will see, if you do your own research, you will see there's some phenomenal numbers at the moment in terms of investment in biotechs. And in particular, biotechs are being told by investor companies, hey, listen, you should be looking at blockchain. Why? Because very clearly blockchain offers them not just cost savings, but efficiencies within their own business. So biotechs are really coming to the forefront. We are now working with a number of biotechs, not just through our partners rather. We've now got a number of biotechs as clients, and we will be actually implementing them on the PHB in 2020. So there's some really exciting stuff going on, not just for the PHB, but also in the biotech sphere. In fact, these are probably the 3 biggest areas of interest or forward movement in the last few months. Not to mention, of course, the other work we were doing and continue to do in the ASEAN region, in particular in Indonesia. These are now the new projects that we are involved in. So leaving the blockchain for a moment and leaving D-Clinic for a moment, is crypto, and in particular Bitcoin, a good investment during now and post COVID-19? Well, the reality check, okay? Now comes the reality check. The global crisis has created by coronavirus and the subsequent financial market turmoil, which we can all see on a daily basis, now has investors looking into whether cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin are a good investment for them. So coronavirus has actually pushed investors out of the stock market, and in a manner of speaking, and into areas of cryptocurrency where they would not have looked at it. In fact, there is a high institutional demand going on right now. It's a huge institutional demand going on right now. And by the way, I'll give you some stats in a minute, okay? So why? Why? And what is the evidence of what it is that I am saying? Well, 3 reasons. And I am going to, these 3 reasons were put forward by Bitcoin Labs CEO, Tetsuki, and I actually agree with these. The first thing is that the stock market is losing its attractiveness. And the reason is because the stock market is connected to companies that put in corporate profits as part of their expansion. So companies that have products putting in corporate profits as a way of driving their shares, that's coming to an end, not coming to an end, that is slowed down because of the stock market issue. So believe it or not, investors are now looking at other options other than stocks because they can't just work with cash. Cryptocurrencies now are attractive. And the reason, funnily enough, the reason, if we look back a few months before COVID-19, everyone talked about why is cryptocurrency not like real stocks? Why is it not connected to real stocks? Well, believe it or not, as a result of COVID-19, cryptocurrency has actually shown its resilience by not being so closely connected to the stock market. So in a roundabout sort of way, the cryptocurrency market is actually now more buoyant because of its loose connection, if you want, to the stock market. In fact, the stock market is now considered to be volatile. And most investors have not considered cryptocurrency. They've generally tend to push it aside and say, you know what, I don't want to touch that stuff. But now they are looking very seriously at it because of the current stock market crisis that's going on. So it's come back into favor because of the volatility of stock markets. Some evidence: Grayscale Investments, capital inflows, 503 million into cryptocurrency investment products. I am talking about 1 quarter here, 1 quarter during the COVID-19. 388 of that has been towards specifically Bitcoin. 88% of these investments were made in this quarter by institutional investors. A clear sign in this case that institutional investors are taking this up. JP Morgan themselves are now issuing, not just JP Morgan, Deloitte and the others are saying that cryptocurrency trading and participation by institutional investors is now significant. It cannot be ignored. And they are doing this because of the volatility of the stock market. By the way, these comments are coming directly from Bitcoin.com. And if you wanted any other evidence, look at the Bitcoin itself. Look at it. You can see there that during the COVID crisis, it hit at rock bottom. Well, not rock bottom, but it certainly went down. I think at one stage it got to about 3,000 or 3,500 USD. Now look at it. It's 9. In fact, there are predictions, and I won't go into the predictions, the actual dollar figures, but there are some huge predictions about where this can go. And the evidence is there. You can see it. So I always end off, and I hope I didn't take too much of your time. I was told to keep it within 10 minutes so that I could answer some questions. I always end off our slides. I always end off all of our presentations with the same catch cry. And that is that blockchain is the solution to healthcare's brave new world. There is no doubt in my mind, the opportunity to blockchain companies, especially ones that can connect their cryptocurrency at a utility, possibly security if you're looking at some of the new emerging markets, but I don't want to go there because that's a whole discussion in itself. But you know, just from a utility perspective, if you can create cryptocurrency that is truly, that has a true utility value, then you are very well placed right now. I think the market is embracing us. And I think that's what makes it really interesting about the whole issue of COVID and where COVID is and what I think post-COVID will look like. So Sonny, I hope I didn't take more than 10 minutes. I'm open for questions unless you want to ask me any questions.
Richard, you are absolutely on time and we always love to hear from you and your insights. And you're spot on with cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. I mean, obviously, it's not coming from you, not coming from me. We are not advisors, financial advisors, but obviously the statistics that have shown us, crypto is the future going ahead. Awesome stats, awesome presentations. I just have one question for you, Richard. Besides healthcare and biotechnology, what are the investment trends? What other areas do you think could emerge from the COVID-19, the coronavirus pandemic?
So I think, are you specifically talking around where cryptocurrency can play a major role? Is that specifically? Yeah. I think logistics. I think one of the things, I think the whole distribution chain is now really open. I think what I've noticed during the COVID-19 period, let's call it the COVID-19 period, what I've noticed is now distributors are looking for value and a way of rewarding their customers, because we've seen now, these are the things that have happened as a result of COVID-19, okay? And as I'm saying this, I suspect all of you out there are nodding your heads, okay? The first thing I will say is the virtual world has come alive. The virtual world has come alive. Where people used to go to doctors, now they use telemedicine. This period in time could never ever have promoted anything like like what it has done for telemedicine. Telemedicine was always on the outer, doctors preferred to see you, touch you, all those sorts of things. Now all of a sudden everything is done on telemedicine. Well, that's part of a logistics chain. Now, if you can bring in cryptocurrencies to start rewarding people, I think you could really create a great value proposition for that entire chain. So that's the first thing we've noticed. The other thing we've noticed is that there are a whole new bunch of online industries being created right now. Food industries, where people before would have said, I'm not going to order my food online. I'm not going to have someone come and deliver a box to me and then I cook at home. Well, guess what? We're all at home now. We're all cooking at home, right? So companies like HelloFresh, and there's a whole bunch of others that have all come out of the woodwork, they are striking enormous profits. And guess what they're starting to look at? They're starting to look at cryptocurrency as well too, because they want to value and reward their customers, because post-COVID-19, they want to retain that clientele. They don't want to lose that clientele back to the cafes. So these are some of the innovations that have been created out of COVID-19. I think the third one I'll say to you, excuse me, the third one I'll say to you is that I think people will rewrite the way they do work for companies. I think people now have found a way to work at home. They're spending more time with their children. Poor old pets all the pets of the world have had more walks than they've ever had ever. Dogs are going out for 6 and 7 walks a day, So, but they've rewritten the way that they live. And I think we're going to find that will now come into play with businesses and companies. And I think, once again, I think there is a value proposition there for cryptocurrency to play in that new domain as well too. And that's just to name a few.
Excellent. Thank you so much for those ideas and thoughts. And I do agree with all the points that you've just said. I'm just conscious of the time. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for being a sport and just turning up, showing up with a short notice on our show. And we'd love to, be in touch with you after this as well, Richard.
No problem at all. In fact, look, Sonny, if everyone is interested, in the next couple of weeks, we will be launching a new cryptocurrency, which we think is going to revolutionize healthcare. And so if you're interested, I'd be more than happy to come on and explain a little bit about that one as well too.
Happy to have you again. Sure.
Fantastic. Look, I have to apologize. I do have to go, but thank you very much, everyone. I hope I was able to give you some useful information.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Richard. Take care.
Thank you very much. Bye, everyone.
So now I've passed the floor to Nadia, my co-moderator of the day.
Yeah.